Imagine the ship behind you is sinking. Just moments ago, you were laughing, relaxing, and enjoying life on that same ship. But now, you are no longer on deck. You are now sitting inside a sealed orange lifeboat. Strangers are packed all around you, and everyone is trying to survive the same fear. No cell signal, no land in sight. Outside there is nothing but wind, waves, and thousands of miles of open ocean. And this is the moment most people completely misunderstand a lifeboat. They think it is just a small boat sitting there, waiting to be rescued. But inside it are systems and equipment that can keep you alive for days, maybe longer. But how does it stay afloat even when a wave flips it upside down? How do you breathe when the hatch is sealed shut? How do rescuers even find you in the middle of nowhere? And when thirst starts closing in on you, when death starts to feel certain, what happens then? How can this small orange capsule actually save your life? In this video, we are going inside a modern ship lifeboat, part by part, to uncover the hidden engineering that, in the middle of a vast and unforgiving ocean, might just be your last chance to survive. From the outside, it looks like a small orange boat attached to the side of a ship. But a modern ship lifeboat is not built like an ordinary boat. It is a sealed survival capsule. Inside, every part has a job. The seats are not only for sitting. The belts are there because the first impact can be violent. Beneath and around you, there may be an engine, batteries, emergency water, food rations, medical supplies, lights, ventilation, signal equipment, and tools designed for one purpose: keeping people alive after the ship is gone. This is why a lifeboat is not just something you escape into. It is the first place where survival begins. The bright orange color is not chosen to look dramatic. It is chosen because the ocean is usually blue, gray, white, or black. And in that empty background, orange is one of the easiest colors for a rescue crew to spot from a ship, a helicopter, or an aircraft. The body is usually made from strong fiberglass or reinforced composite material because these materials resist corrosion, reduce weight, and can be shaped into a sealed, impact-resistant shell. The hatch is built to close tightly. The hull is shaped to keep water out, and the rounded shell is designed to take punishment from waves without exposing the people inside. But not every lifeboat is the same size. Some are built for a small crew. Others are made for large ships and can carry dozens of people, sometimes 30, 50, 100, or even more than 150, depending on the model and the ship. So from the outside, it may look simple, but its color, shape, material, and size all exist for the same reason: to make this capsule visible, strong, sealed, and crowded with as many survivors as it was designed to protect. Getting into the lifeboat does not mean the danger is over. The first real test is leaving the ship. Some lifeboats are lowered by davits, using cables and mechanical arms that bring the craft down toward the water. Others are free-fall lifeboats, designed to slide or drop from the stern of the ship and hit the sea with force. That is why everyone inside must be strapped in before launch. The seats are arranged to support the body during impact, and the safety belts keep people from being thrown forward, sideways, or into each other when the lifeboat strikes the water. In that moment, holding onto a handle is not enough. The ocean does not receive the capsule gently. It hits back. So the first job of the lifeboat is not to sail. It is to survive the launch without seriously injuring the people inside before rescue has even begun. Once it hits the water, the lifeboat has to do something that sounds simple, but decides everything. It has to stay on the surface. The reason it does not sink is not magic. It is volume, sealing, and trapped air. The hull is closed tightly. The body is built to keep water out, and the capsule contains enough buoyant space to push back against the weight of the people and equipment inside. But floating is only the first part. In heavy seas, a wave can roll the lifeboat onto its side or even turn it upside down. This is where the hidden engineering matters. The heaviest parts, the engine, fuel system, batteries, and structural weight, are placed low in the hull. The upper structure is kept lighter, while the lower weight and buoyant volume help the lifeboat fight its way back upright. So when the capsule is forced upside down, its own weight distribution fights against that position. The heavy bottom wants to fall back down. The lighter top wants to rise. And in many enclosed, self-righting lifeboats, that balance is what helps the capsule roll itself back upright. A normal boat may be helpless after a full rollover. But this one is designed for the moment when the ocean does not just lift it, but tries to turn it over. Inside, the lifeboat does not feel like a rescue vehicle. It feels like a locked room that moves. People sit close together, sometimes shoulder to shoulder, strapped into narrow seats with very little space to turn or stretch. There is no comfort, no privacy, and almost no control over what happens next. You may see the outside through small windows or portholes, but the view does not always help. Sometimes all you can see is water rising and falling against the glass. The lights inside may keep the cabin from going completely dark, but they cannot remove the feeling of being sealed inside a small capsule while the ocean moves around you. This is where survival becomes physical. Your back hurts, your legs go stiff. Someone nearby may be sick, someone else may be silent from fear. And every person inside understands the same thing. There is no getting out until help comes. When the hatch is sealed, the first fear is obvious. How do you breathe? A modern enclosed lifeboat is not simply a box with people trapped inside. It has ventilation systems that allow air to move through the cabin while keeping seawater out. In normal conditions, this keeps the space breathable, even when everyone is packed tightly together. But fire changes everything. If the lifeboat has to pass through smoke, burning fuel, or hot air near a damaged ship, some fire-protected lifeboats use a pressurized air system. Clean air is released inside the capsule, creating slightly higher pressure than outside. That pressure helps push smoke and toxic gases away from tiny gaps around seals and hatches. Some lifeboats are also fitted with external water spray systems. Seawater is pumped over the outer shell, cooling the surface and helping the capsule move through a dangerous fire zone. But this does not make the lifeboat invincible. It is not designed to live inside fire forever. It is designed to buy time. Enough time to get away from the burning ship, reach open water, and keep the people inside breathing when the outside world has become deadly. Once the lifeboat is clear of the ship, it cannot simply sit beside the wreck. It has to move away. Most modern ship lifeboats are fitted with a small, reliable engine, often diesel-powered. It is not built for speed. It is built to start under stress, push a loaded capsule through rough water, and carry survivors away from fire, debris, suction, and the sinking vessel behind them. The batteries are not the main source of propulsion. Their job is to help start the engine and power essential systems like lights, instruments, communication equipment, and sometimes heating or control circuits. In many regulated lifeboats, the required speed is around 6 knots, and the fuel supply is designed to keep the engine running for a limited emergency period, often about a day, depending on the model and regulations. You may wonder if solar panels can keep it going. Some modern systems may use solar power for small electronics or battery support, but a lifeboat is not depending on solar panels to drive through the ocean. When the fuel runs out, the capsule does not become useless. It becomes a drifting survival shelter. The engine may go silent, but the hull still floats, the sea anchor can help keep it facing the waves, and the signal equipment becomes even more important. At that point, survival is no longer about moving fast. It is about staying alive long enough to be found. After the engine, the next thing that matters is not speed. It is water. Inside the lifeboat, fresh water is stored in sealed emergency containers or packets, usually rationed carefully for each person on board. Under international safety standards, lifeboats are commonly equipped with a minimum fresh water supply per person, along with emergency food rations designed to last during the first days of survival. But this is not normal food. There are no hot meals, no full plates, no comfort. The food is usually compact, dry, high-energy ration, made to take little space, resist spoilage, and keep the body running with as little extra water demand as possible. And then comes the cruelest part. Outside the hull, there is water everywhere. Endless water. Your throat is dry, your lips are cracking, and for a moment drinking seawater may feel like the most natural thing in the world. But seawater does not save you. It carries far more salt than your body can safely handle. To remove that salt, your kidneys need more water. So every mouthful can force your body to lose even more of the water it has left. Your thirst does not disappear. It grows. And if panic makes you keep drinking, dehydration can become confusion, kidney failure, seizures, and eventually death. That is why every sip of fresh water inside the lifeboat is controlled. It is not just a drink, it is time. Some survival craft may also carry manual desalination equipment, which can force seawater through a filter system to remove salt. But that takes effort, time, and working equipment. So inside this capsule, survival is not about eating until you are full or drinking until you feel better. It is about discipline, small portions, measured sips, and the patience to stay alive until rescue reaches you. There is one question people almost always ask, but many videos avoid. What about the toilet? The truth is, not every lifeboat has a proper bathroom like you would find on a ship. It depends on the model, size, and purpose of the craft. Some may have a very basic enclosed toilet arrangement, but many rely on emergency waste bags, containers, or simple sanitation systems meant only for survival. Nothing about it is comfortable. Waste has to be controlled, sealed, and kept away from food and water. In a closed capsule packed with people, hygiene is not about feeling clean. It is about preventing sickness, smell, panic, and contamination. A shower is usually not realistic. There is not enough space, water, or privacy for that. At best, people may use wipes, cloths, or basic hygiene supplies if they are available. Then comes seasickness. A lifeboat rises, drops, rolls, and shakes for hours. People can vomit, lose fluids, and become weaker from dehydration. That is why seasickness tablets, basic first aid supplies, bandages, antiseptic items, and emergency medical equipment matter. Inside a lifeboat, even the smallest human problem becomes a survival problem. Because when you cannot leave, staying alive also means keeping the inside of the capsule livable. But even if the water and food are controlled, the ocean can still attack the body in quieter ways. Cold is one of the most dangerous. If someone is wet, even a small drop in temperature can become serious. Wet clothes pull heat away from the body, and in cold seas, hypothermia can begin long before a person realizes how weak they are becoming. That is why lifeboats may carry thermal protective aids, emergency blankets, or survival suits, depending on the equipment on board. Their job is simple: trap body heat and keep wind and moisture from stealing it away. But heat can be a problem too. A sealed capsule under the sun can become exhausting, especially when people are packed close together with limited air movement. Then comes the hardest part: the mind. Fear spreads quickly in a small space, so survival depends on discipline. Someone controls the water, someone checks supplies, someone watches for signals. People need tasks because panic grows fastest when everyone is sitting still, waiting, and imagining the worst. Inside a lifeboat, survival is not only physical, it is staying calm when the ocean gives you nothing to hold on to. At some point, someone will reach for a phone. It is almost automatic. You unlock the screen, try to call, try to send a message, maybe even open the map. But in the middle of the ocean, a normal smartphone is usually looking for something that does not exist nearby: a cell tower. The GPS may still show where you are, because GPS receives signals from satellites. But knowing your position is not the same as sending it to someone. Without a mobile network, Wi-Fi, or a satellite connection, your phone cannot call the Coast Guard or text your location to the world. A satellite phone would be different if someone actually has one, and it works. But for most people inside a lifeboat, the real voice is not in their pocket. It is built into the survival equipment: the emergency beacon, radio, radar transponder, and visual signals designed to make this tiny capsule visible to rescuers. A lifeboat does not depend on one lucky signal. It uses layers. The most important one is the emergency beacon, often an EPIRB. When activated, it can send a distress signal to satellites, and if it has GPS or GNSS built in, it can send the lifeboat's position as well. That signal is not a conversation. It is a digital cry for help, telling rescue authorities that somewhere in the ocean, people are alive and need to be found. Then there is the radar side. A SART, or Search and Rescue Transponder, helps nearby rescue ships or aircraft locate the craft on radar. Instead of being just another tiny object on a huge sea, the lifeboat can appear as a recognizable signal on a radar screen. If rescuers are close enough, a VHF radio can become even more direct. It allows survivors or crew to speak to nearby ships, rescue teams, or aircraft, depending on range and conditions. But electronics are only part of the story. During the day, smoke signals can create a bright cloud that stands out over the water. At night, flares and lights can turn the lifeboat into a visible point in the darkness. A mirror can flash sunlight. A whistle can help at short distance. Even the orange color of the lifeboat is part of the rescue system, because in the open ocean, being alive is not enough. You have to be seen, you have to be heard, and this capsule is designed to keep calling for help long after your phone has gone silent. But even after the signal goes out, rescue may not arrive immediately. A beacon can tell the rescue system where to start looking, but it cannot move the nearest ship closer. It cannot calm the storm. It cannot turn night into daylight or make a helicopter fly beyond its range. Sometimes the closest vessel may still be hours away. Bad weather can slow everything down. High waves can make approach dangerous. And before anyone reaches the lifeboat, rescue teams still have to confirm the alert, coordinate the search, and guide ships or aircraft toward the position. So the signal is not the end of the survival story. It is the beginning of being found. And until a ship, helicopter, or aircraft gets close enough to see the flare, smoke, light, or orange hull, the people inside still have to wait. If the lifeboat is damaged, survival becomes maintenance. Most lifeboats carry basic repair tools and materials for small leaks or cracks. If seawater gets inside, survivors may use hand pumps, bailers, or buckets to remove it before it becomes a bigger problem. The sea anchor also becomes important. It does not hold the boat to the ocean floor. Instead, it creates drag in the water, helping the lifeboat face the waves more safely and slowing the drift. For a long wait, some emergency kits may include fishing gear, a compass, and basic survival tools. But none of these things make the lifeboat comfortable. They only do one thing. They keep the capsule usable long enough for rescue to reach it. A century ago, lifeboats were very different. When the Titanic sank, its lifeboats were open to the sky. Survivors were exposed to cold air, darkness, fear, and the open sea. Those boats could float, but they were not sealed survival capsules. Modern enclosed lifeboats are built from a different idea. They are not only meant to carry people away from a sinking ship, they are designed to protect them after the ship is gone. And history shows why that matters. People have survived astonishing lengths of time at sea in lifeboats and life rafts. Poon Lim survived 133 days alone on a raft during World War II. Stephen Callahan survived 76 days drifting in the Atlantic. Those stories were not comfortable miracles. They prove that survival at sea depends on shelter, rationing, signals, discipline, and the ability to stay alive one more day. And then, after hours, or maybe days, something changes. A light appears on the horizon. At first, no one inside fully believes it. People are weak, thirsty, cramped, and exhausted from the motion of the sea. Some are silent. Some may cry without making a sound. Others just stare because their body has survived, but their mind is still trapped inside the capsule. Rescue does not always feel like a movie ending. It can feel slow, unreal, almost impossible to accept. Your legs may shake when you try to stand. Your throat may hurt from thirst. Your clothes may smell of sweat, fuel, seawater, and fear. And even when hands finally pull you out, part of you may still be listening for the waves hitting the hull. That is what a lifeboat really is. Not a comfortable escape, not a guarantee. But when the ship is gone, the land is invisible, the phone is useless, and the ocean has taken everything familiar away. This small orange capsule becomes the only world you have left. And sometimes, that is enough to bring you home.